Okay, this part is optional for extra credit, but for those of you who want to do it, it's going to create a solar study. So the first thing we're going to do is open up our 3D view and just kind of orbit around to look at it. And in our view control bar, we want to verify that we have shadows turned on. And then I'm going to click on the sun path option and click on sun settings. So I want to do just a single day study for this particular project. And for the date, I'm going to choose the summer solstice because that is the longest day of the year. So it's often what we use for kind of our solar studies. And so I'm going to give it a date of 6/21. Right? That's the summer solstice, isn't it? And then I'm going to just check off sunrise to sunset. So that way it'll just show me the whole day that the sun would be active. For our settings or our location, I'm going to click on the little dot, 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 and I'm going to search for Boone, North Carolina. This is just kind of showing us weather stations near Boone. There is one directly in Boone that we can use. And for our time interval, I'm going to change it to every 15 minutes. For our ground plane, I'm going to leave this just not selected at all, so that this way the shadows will fall on the actual site that we put down. And I'll click on OK. And then for our sun path one, I'm going to then click on the sun icon again and preview solar study, which gives me then kind of a little play button up here where I can play and I can look at how the sun would move across this building throughout the day. Once I have it playing the way I want, maybe I want to change the angle I'm looking at. Who knows? Depends on exactly what your building is and which part is what you're concerned about. Is then I'm going to export it. So I'm going to click on File, Export, and I'm going to just scroll down a little bit for Image and Animations and Solar Study. All of those two, I just kind of hovered over them. I didn't click on any of the options until I got to Solar Study. So I want all frames. For my frames per second, I'm going to just put it at 1, which will then kind of keep it a little bit easier to maintain and look for and keep up with, and it will keep the file smaller. And for my visual style, I'm going to go with shaded with edges. And then I'm going to click OK. Now it's prompting me of where I want to save it, which is really up to you. I recommend saving things on your desktop or in my documents. If you're using Udesk, make sure that you're saving it in the P drive, so it'll have a little P with a semicolon. So I'm just going to put mine on my desktop. I'm just going to name it P01 Solar, I'm in caps lock again, Solar Study. Save, and then I've got a little, click OK, and now I have a little animation of my solar study saved and ready to go. It will have to run through it first on like the computer itself in Revit. So right now it's just kind of processing through it, and then once it's done, it'll save itself as a file on your desktop.